Yo, Renzo, all good? Can you hear me okay? Sound normal? Had to re-plug in my mic earlier. It's some weird thing YouTube added. Every time there's a new stream, depending on the activity of the person, they'll get ranked, 1 to 20. I don't know what it is. Like, it changes every stream, like, whoever interacts the most. Welcome, Daniel. Hey, Mr. Seal. So, if I remember where we left off last week, we had made learn about patterns in a subgraph, and then going back to our main graph and then bringing in the result of that subgraph into here. Now I have to remember which video that was. I think it was we did that one. We did that one. We did that one. We did that one. Aha! I think this is it. This is the rest of the streams for most of the year are going to be designer. Following tutorials for a while to get used to the similar nodes. And then after that, we're going to start doing some, try and make our own materials after a while. But so on this video, let's check. Yep, cool. And that looks all good on OBS. Yep. Tanox Branner, a peasant, he's here. You started at staffs yet, Renzo? Also, T, I was going to tell you something, but I'm not going to tell you now because you were mean to me. Something that you would be excited to hear because you would be able to watch it. But no, not now. F you. F you. No, not telling you. Not till August. Hurry up, slacker. Stop slacking. Ah, T, the back pedal. This guy, a complimentary stuff. The tutorial is the official Adobe Learn Substance tutorial on the website. So I'll put the link in here. Oh my god, there we go. So yeah, I'm following free tutorials so that you can see a preview of it in the corner. And then eventually I'll do paid tutorials, which I'll have to not show because obviously don't want to, can't really show it right. And then we'll just be following tutorials for a while, just to, because let's say we've never really used Designer to make a material ever, right? So following tutorials to get used to working in it week by week. Yep, hating on me, hating on the king as usual. The king chunk, the huge. That's it, T. I'm not telling you the secret now. Hmm. Hmm. Not telling you. Ah, cool job. Cool route. That's awesome. You still looking for work? Or you found somewhere for a while, or be down from the fourth? That okay? Now I'm never visiting. That should be good. Usually my visits tend to end up in the Yuki area anyway, right? So I'm sure I'll pop down at some point for a talk and all that sort of stuff. It'll be cool to see you, get some food and all that jazz. Looking for freelance to. Oh, that's cool. Oh, there was something. There was. I saw it this morning. I was like, oh, I remember that you like that. But no, you called me a peasant when you joined my kingdom, my stream, and you called me a peasant. No, not you, Root. You're okay. You're cool. I'm talking about Tanox Brenner. He came in. He says, "Hi, peasant." That's what he said to me. Uno reverso. You've activated my trap card. How is your guys' Thursday going? All good? Yes. I actually had a storm warning on my phone for this area in Derby, so maybe there will be a storm tonight. The only thing that I don't like is that mine has more shit in it, more stuff in it, whereas this one's more dotted. I'm trying to recall what that was. So make the shape. Doing portfolio today. Cool. Hey, Metal. Aha, okay. It's in the tile generator. Message retracted. Coward, what did you retract? Tell me. Coward. Leah is full focus mode on Houdini tutorials this week. That's probably why. That's why it's been nice and quiet recently. Do you want to know what someone wanted to say? What do you mean? Every time, Renzo. So not October, Elliot? Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said, Renzo. That's what I said. I need to do to get this. Um, Eric, you all right? Welcome. Yeah, it will be October, Renzo. It'll just be October 2026, not 2025. Did anyone here see Naughty Dog's GDC talk? How they changed? No, no, that sounds cool. They went. I guess they went from their ZBrush workflow because they were heavy used for that ZBrush and matte caps to Designer. Mm. we go. Clean that up a bit. What course are you learning from? It's the official Substance Designer Adobe Complete Beginners course. So you can find it on like adobe.com for under learn for designer. Yeah, all good. Same here, same here. Yeah, this is what well you can see on Steam actually, can't you? So it's my third session. My third session in this, which is so 7 hours so far. So almost the equivalent of one day over the last few weeks. POV, happy Thursday, or good morning to you. Hey, Soccer, how are you doing? Not too bad. How's your Thursday going? What about the luminance? What does she say? I'm drinking coffee at 12 noon. Makes perfect sense, especially for developers. Perfect sense. You enjoy whatever beverage you wish to enjoy. You're welcome to enjoy anything here, friend. It's 9 p.m. here in Germany, and I'm drinking coffee too. Hey, Eric, I have a question for you. Since you said you're in Germany, well, are you from Germany or are you just in Germany? Who needs sleep anyway? Yeah, yeah. You're on your monster at 9 a.m. Jesus, Jesus. Unless it's 9 p.m. Coffee puts you to sleep, dude. That's like the opposite of what it's meant to do. What's going on? What are you taking with that coffee? Oh, 9 p.m. Okay, understandable. Yeah, I don't do hot drinks. I don't do tea or coffee. I'm usually more of a Pepsi Max or a Red Bull. Sometimes Monster as well. Okay, Eric. One or two? Okay, one. Is it pronounced IKEA or two IKEA? What is your opinion? IKEA, IKEA. IKEA. I see. Thank you. Gingerbread man is tea. IKEA. This is the way. Can I ask you a question? In the 3D view, where can I find tessellation and displacement? I'm stuck. Oh, you're asking. It's like the blind. You're asking the blind to lead the blind, Sakura. I'm so new to this. I think it's. Yeah. I don't recall how I did mine. I think it was like somewhere in here. I'm sure someone in the chat will be able to tell you. Um. Yes, Eric said IKEA. Thank you, Eric. Leah, you may leave. You may leave. I remember I went into here like materials, edit properties, and then you get this window, and then you can set it in here. But yeah, I don't really recall. Uh, English, that's how it's pronounced. I like the IKEA cafeteria. Oh, the food from IKEA is amazing. The hot dogs at the end, they're the best. Goated hot dogs. Yeah, give that a try, Sakura. I think we actually turned it off at this part of the tutorial for this cloth, if I remember correctly. So, V, you don't have any say on what the saying for IKEA is. Exactly, T. T, you're back in my good books. I'll tell you the thing later. You're back in my good books. See, there's an IKEA in India. That's okay. V isn't in India, so he's wrong. He's in America. Ah, why did you just connect yourself there? You got. Interesting. Oh, hey John, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. How's designer? Yeah, it's going. It's going. I think we're at about 7 hours in across the last few weeks, so still very early days. But yeah, it's going well. Comes in high. Definitely should come in a bit like that. Hey, nice, John. Now is the time. We're all learning designer. Alrighty. Oh shit. Okay, I'm jumping up. Chat. IKEA hot dogs are amazing. Substance design is too complex for me to learn. I tried 3 times in different periods of my life. I need to give up. You never know, right? Could be the fourth time. Yeah, my strategy for attempting to learn this is to just follow a bunch of tutorials for a little bit, copy, see what the reoccurring trends are, and then try and bridge the gaps between a lot of this stuff. But I think, like with anything, it just takes time and iteration, and taking your time with it, really. Like, I don't intend to do anything fabric based, but this is a good beginner tutorial to get used to it. So the sooner I can dive into like stone, wood, and all that sort of stuff, the better. But for now, like I say, just gotta learn the program and go through these processes and pick up things along the way. Hmm. I really like this sort of stuff. Like having made trim sheets before in ZBrush, it's fun, but it takes a while. You know, you got to block out, sculpt everything, make sure it tiles correctly. So to a degree, I do like that you can generate these shapes and tile them automatically, and then sculpt them with a few nodes. So that's going to be the goal for sure in the future when making trims for stuff. I'm so suicidal more than once. Yeah, yeah. I hear that a lot. Like it's definitely like when you look at it, it's like, oh, it's a bunch of visual scripting to make organic materials, like especially if you're used to like making tileables in ZBrush or Painter. So I definitely get you that it's something that I think if you like, for example, if I was to put like 50 hours into Designer and then not use it, I would probably like use it, lose it sort of thing, right? So I can definitely see how like you want to get quite deep into it. Um, but it definitely seems like a big learning curve for people, and a scary one. So we'll see how the rest of the year goes. You know, obviously a few hours each week and any extra sessions we decide to put on. But yeah, we will. I get what you mean by it. It's pretty scary. At least it's not Houdini. Someone furiously tabbing into the chat to be like, "What?" Yeah, metal for sure, for sure, for sure. There she is. There's a YouTube delay in action. I've already moved on, Leah. The YouTube delay was 10 minutes, so forgive me. Oh, metal backtracking already. He saw the Leah rage and backtracked. Let's see how wrong I get this if we're making the little signet thing. At least I think that's what she said, right? The little cylinder bits. Right, let's see. Let's see how far off we were. Assuming we were talking about the same piece. I thought she meant the rings, but we'll see. Oh, we did that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. No. No. We did it wrong. Okay. It's all good. We got the same result, but I did it in one extra node. Okay, so we're at least we're in the right thinking. Okay, so I don't need to invert then. Okay, because then the blend can. Okay. Yeah. Is that what they did? Can't remember. Hold on. Okay, we did it in one extra node. It's good. It's cool. It's all good. It's all good. But we were pretty much right overall. We're learning. That's it. We're learning. That's so fast. Holy shit. Uh, no, wait, hold on. Hmm. What? Oh, okay. Ugh. That would explain it. Okay, cool. So I was doing it a node too late. Interesting. Ooh. Hmm. I'm hungry. I have a bunch of shapes. Shapes. Oh, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Ooh. Ooh, starting to stack them together. We're unintentionally making a trim sheet. Nice. Say unintentionally, but intentionally. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Hey, Leah, welcome back. Hope all is good. How was your Thursday? What do you have? Are you having fun learning? Still super early days, but yeah, I can see the super like benefits of it and non-destructibility. It's just timing. Just gotta get used to it. Oh man. Obviously, this is going to teach me the fundamental of shape into repeating shape, which is going to be good because that's the gateway into trim sheets. Um, the only thing I'm wondering is obviously when you make a trim sheet in 3D, you can block it out. You can block it out on a 2 meter plane with a 1.8 meter character, and you can make sure that the elements on the trim sheet look like they would be in scale to the character in terms of like grabbing onto edges. So how is that done in Designer? Like, is there a way to put a scale mesh next to this? How do you assess trim sheet scale? Um, is this a 2 meter cube or cylinder? You know, that's the only thing that is what I'm curious about, which is a disadvantage at the moment. Had a tough driving lesson. Hey, that's all right, Via. Yeah, I remember my driving lessons. Like, I was so scared to even go 5 miles an hour. So, but now it's like second nature to me. But I was so scared. I could not. I always stored my car on hills as well. But now I'm all good with that. So yeah, it's just a thing, a matter of time, Via. That uncomfortableness will turn to comfortableness, and you'll be like Tokyo Drift around all the streets. But yeah, I understand the gateway into making the trim sheet. It's just the scale of the trim sheet and the scale of the object is what is not mapped to my mind yet. I think I've seen people do it before. They have a material set up in Unreal and save texture. Yeah, I suppose there is that way. Like you just keep refreshing it, which is fair enough. Hey, Arthur, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I've seen some scene meshes used by Remedy with a mannequin. So is that the same sort of thing, right? You do your trim sheet in design, you do your sort of base shapes in Designer, and you just send them to your 3D file, Um, I guess that's one of the things to get used to with Designer compared to like blocking out a trim sheet. And one thing I'll need to learn is because I'm so used to blocking out a trim sheet in centimeters. Like I know that every vertical row is like 10 centimeters, 40 centimeters, 60. So a lot of that is also going to be like, understanding how to map this to physical units of like centimeters and whatnot. Mm, for textile density, yes, but you obviously you can have like, oh, where's that old thread? Jacob Noss had a good thread on this. You can have things that are like off scale, but the correct textile density, for example. Because like if you think of terms of if you think in terms of like let's load up Blender. Show you what I mean. So if you think in terms of like if I, for example, start making a trim sheet for these wood beams, right? And I know that like my wood beams are like, they're on the grid and they're 60 centimeters wide at least. Now on a trim sheet, I would just grab a plane at like 2 meters and I would divide it. I always forget the math, but I would divide the 2 meter plane so that every edge loop is 10 centimeters. And then I would select, each edge, and basically the trim sheet would be fit perfectly onto the element of the block art, which is why I always recommend having a block art before trim sheet. So obviously with that in mind, you never want to make a trim sheet before the block out, in my opinion. So I'm wondering, obviously this will be maybe part of my learning journey, is how I can, for example, say, hey, I want this to be 60 centimeters high in the shape on the final output because the wood beam is 60 centimeters, right? So those are the things I need to map over, because in 3D that's a lot easier, right? You make a plane, you divide it, and you have your set units, right? In Designer, there's no notion, at least at the moment, of physical space. So I don't know, like, we could say this is a 2048, and I couldn't tell you like how many centimeters this stuff is. So that's the main thing I want to learn as I keep going on, because being on the grid with everything will get you perfect texture density. So that is going to be the trick, learning that. So I'll have to reach out as well for trim sheets. For tilables, it's easier, right? Tilables is whatever. But for trims, it's obviously a bit more specific. Let's catch up on the chat. Oh, we're getting my head around edge flow. Trim sheet 2 meters by 2 meters. Maybe you can create a square shape. Yeah, I haven't been in Blender for a while. I've been off here quite a lot. So let's What's my grid on? 1 meter. Let's say 25 for argument's sake, right? So yeah, the way I usually would work with a trim sheet is we have a 2 meter trim sheet, and I usually do 10 centimeters, but for this we'll say 25, right? So each row is 25 centimeters high. So if I have my wood beams, I'm like, okay, this is 25 centimeters. I make my trim sheet on here, cool. And I say, okay, this one is 50 centimeters. This one is, so I know each unit, and I know I can get that. I have my units right away, basically. And then for designer, it's like, okay, how do I, my goal is to learn how I can get physical units. Because ideally, for me, this is a 2048, and I would want a bunch of rows to be a set centimeter height when I start making the trim sheet. Obviously, I can get that straight away in 3D, and I could put Manny pretty much like right next to it as well. So obviously I can do that, and then when I'm blocking out, I can be like, okay, this edge, they can grab on with their hands, right? That's what I'm gonna be missing with designer if well, at the moment, right? But I'm super new, right? So I could be missing a trick. But I kind of want something like this, but with designer. But maybe it's, I make a trim sheet and I export it over and over, and I just get used to that. But just the square scales one. Yeah, maybe it's just a thing of halving. Or maybe there's an add-on, or maybe there's a way that you can, I guess with the histogram or something like that, being able to set rows on this thing. But that is our next video, though. That's our next video is making this tile, so it's just going to be a case of fitting the space vertically in there as well. But yeah, it will be cool to come back to these and start making some designer block out trim sheets for the wood and stuff like that. How long is this video? Okay. Okay, this should be fine. Okay. All right. I'm a Dune fan. I've seen them. I like them. I was thinking of getting the game. Someone in this chat has actually worked on the Dune game as a lighting artist. So, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. Which do I prefer? It's hard to say. Maybe two. I think I prefer two to one. Both are good though. Right. Mine's very blurry because I think from that last video we set this to 250. I don't think it's meant to be. It's better. Haha, I didn't have to do it manually. Sure. Oh, I did it automatically. You played the game via. Good progress. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4. A bit more to go, but the height is coming to an end, which is good for this one. So nice. All right, I'm going to jump into the YouTube stream chat and share my screen. Also going to turn on desktop audio, set it to the right device. If you are Patreon and you're in the Discord and you want your work looking out on stream or a stream check-in with the people, please hop on in. A YouTube chat in here. There we go. Da, da, da.
Hey Elliot.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you been?
Not too bad. Long time no see, John. How are you?
Good. Long time no see. Yeah, I went MIA for a bit. Sorry about
Ah, it's all
that.
good. You can come in and leave whenever you'd like. How are things getting on? You got anything you want to show we can have a look at? Any links I can look at and put up on the stream?
Yeah. I've worked on my product kind of off and on, a little bit. I've been on the substance designer kind of grind as you,
Ah,
and
yeah,
it's been a while since I've. Yeah, it's been a while since I got showed you, so I kind of wanted to show you some updates and get your
yeah,
opinion
yeah. Cool, cool.
on things.
Load up your mirror. Cool. So remind us like what we saw last time and where we're gonna be at like now, because I know it was a few weeks ago.
I think the last time was when I finished like the block out and the color pass.
Yeah.
So like kind of where you're hovering over right now. And then since then, I've kind of been planning out things like my
Mhm.
trim sheet materials, and as well as kind of just like refining shapes a bit more of silhouettes. Um, so that's when so I think that was a bit after. But I was planning out my trim sheet, kind of how I wanted to approach that for different materials. And then further to the right is when I tried to sort of block out like my materials um, for the actual scene, like further right. Um, That's kind of how I've been approaching it. I've kind of just been like in the mindset of like trying to make things like exist first, and then trying to like refine things, but also trying to like learn how to use designer along the way.
You're definitely further
Um,
along than me on designer.
no, yeah, it's a tough road. I got, not gonna lie.
It is, yeah.
Um,
Cool,
but I think
cool.
I think it'll be worth it. I think the material I've gotten furthest on is probably like the sort of like flat stone material you see on the bottom right. Um, and then yeah, I also refined the fountain a bit more. Because my idea was that okay, I can maybe focus on like this area, which is like less material based,
Hmm.
um, and then curve my materials on the other side. Then I kind of realized I maybe should be using materials in the fountain as well, because a lot of the shapes are pretty big. I was like, okay, I just need to do materials. So I've been a bit all over the place with this. Not gonna lie. Um,
It's all good. Yeah,
so yeah,
yeah, what you said earlier, like make it exist first and make it better. That's literally the way to go. So like make these things exist first in their textures, then refine it as you go along.
Yeah.
So these are your latest shots, are they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, it's got a color overlay on. Where's your original concepts here? Yeah. Well, I guess. That one, and then let's get. Cool. Let's look at the material. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'd say for the materials, the main thing I really focused on is just sort of the normal map. I haven't really done too much of like the color map and like the roughness. I think most things just don't have much any roughness still.
Yeah, that's cool. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff you can do outside the designer, like shader side, to get like major variation on these floors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're having a bit more. So you've got a normal map that's quite strong. It's maybe because this angle, but maybe modeling up some of these stones could be quite good. Because even with the normal map, I don't know if it's on this shot, but it's reading a bit flat. Like normal map doesn't. Is a normal map on in this one for the floor?
I believe so, yeah. Might just not be that strong.
Might be yeah, the angle of it. Let's look at that. Well, no, this pattern in design is pretty easy to do, so I don't think you can have any issues with that.
I feel like I should maybe change that a little bit.
So there is um, definitely more contrast because of the white wall, which you have a darker wall. So was that a conscious design choice, or why have you gone for like a warmer browner wall versus maybe like the stucco white that they've got?
I think I remember like so I changed the lighting in this scene from the original one. Um so I think that's why it's more yellow. But also I think
Slightly brown here a little bit, so
yeah.
probably
I also have a
see
gradient
this.
on it right now in the shader. I kind of just threw that on just for temporary, so that also making
Mm.
it darker. But I think I kind of just like the warmer tones. I guess was it my sort of my idea.
It might be the texture as well, because you can have
But
the
I
warmer
probably
tones, but this could probably be a little bit, maybe a little bit brighter. Depends on what the sRGB is for this as well, which you can check in
yeah
Designer or Photoshop. Because there's a lot of pop in this one, so you don't want it to look too brown all over the shot as well. So I think when
yeah
you get more of this foliage in and you tint the color, because this is like a lime green at the moment,
yeah
which is blending into that sort of warmer lighting, and it's getting swampy looking, almost like a temple in Florida sort of thing. So
yeah.
regaining this color, I feel, is going to give you a bit more of that contrast back, for
I see.
sure. Um, yeah, with the tiles, like I might, if the normal map isn't giving you much strength or even displacement with nanite, you could make some of your meshes just pop up the tiles a little bit, um, and that could help.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Let's lift these up a bit more.
hmm
Let's get like it says like a little bit of depth to it. Because in here is like a little step. I know my brush is massive, but it goes
Okay.
up and step. Um, Whereas you're kind of like slope, so just make that
Yeah.
a little bit more obvious. Because that'll help. Because then the
Mhm.
tiles will kind of neatly go in under that, and then it lets you just scatter some of these leaves in a little bit better
Yeah.
as well. yeah, these textures are good so far. I know like you're gonna get a lot more major variation in shader stuff. I would have a look at so there is a let's have a look. Substance. Mm, there's a plug. There's like a shortcut node which I can never remember where it is, but it's called like sculpted edges.
Mhm.
Yeah, like this sort of stuff. So my friend is a material artist. He recommended me like if you can get like shortcut nodes, that's good because they have like the seed random seed built in, and you're not going to do the usual method of doing like sculpted edges with like masks and flood fill. So have a look at
That's
some like because even with this one, this result here looks pretty good, and there's loads of different ones. There's like free ones, paid ones, but I think that would help with this just to take it to obviously this is a block out normal map, but that would help give it the a bit more stylization in the trim sheet.
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, my friend who's a material artist, he was like, yeah, grab as many shortcut nodes as you can because everyone's doing the same set of nodes to do like cracks and damage. But if you can get these shortcut nodes that have stuff built in, it will give you a bit more variation. So I think that will
I see.
help.
Gotcha.
That'll definitely help with that as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, with the steps as well. Just so what's are you utilizing any? Like I said, do you have access to ZBrush or any sort of free sculpting tool, or what's the plan with that?
For which parts?
Because I'm looking at some of these parts and I'm thinking like here, for example, these stairs. These are
Mhm.
kind of asking to get like some like trim dynamic on the edges, you know.
Yeah, I
So
think my plan was, yeah.
yeah, go on.
Oh, so yeah, I think my plan was so originally I was gonna sculpt it, but then I realized that like maybe this isn't the best way to think about it, but they were quite big to fit like on like a map. Um, first like on the texture maps, I was like, okay, maybe I'll try using a tone stylable, like a stylable fill material, and then I was gonna use mesh decals, to get like the edging, which is how I'm kind of getting the edge damage on like the pillars near the fountain, if you see that. So in the lower image, you can see I kind of have like some edge damage there, but those are through
Mhm.
decals. Is how I just, tried to approach it.
Yeah, that's a good method as well for edges. I don't think that would work for how bespoke this stuff is. So, how big is this in? So let's say because you're like, oh, you can't fit it on. So, for example, what are the metrics of the side pillars here, roughly? Oh, am I disconnecting or?
Oh, no, you're good.
Okay, yeah. So, what are the metrics of this roughly? Do you think, or do you have your 3D file open? You can tell me.
It's about like 2.5 meters like long and like maybe half a meter wide.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, these ones in the concept, these ones you probably could do with that. But with these stairs, I think with these stairs, like if I was sort of advising on it, I would say that you obviously instead of looking at this as like one big long piece, I would probably be like this this is one step, one normal
Like
step, one damage step.
we break it down.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because then it's not like because then it's like not like oh big huge 2 meters. But even then, if this was let's say you did sculpt the inner part of this, you blocked it out of separate meshes and sculpted it, and did treat it as one asset, you could still have the normal map be 0 to 1, and then you could use a series of masks and tileable textures at a higher scale to essentially get your textual density. as back. So there are
I see.
multiple methods to that, but I do think like part of the charm of this is that little stylization. I think with like here, for example, it's almost
Mhm.
too simplified, even in this current state.
Yeah.
So because when
Mhm.
I'm looking at these stairs and like some of these little assets, the reason I ask if you have access to ZBrush is because I'm imagining like, you know, your kind of old school like orb brush, sort of like, just chunky chips of edges, with the orb brush.
Uh-huh.
So I think that is one thing with it, because I think you might if you because with this current style you're gonna get like the edge wear on, but you're gonna suffer with like the cracks, doing cracks and stuff, and that's not gonna work too well with edge decals trying to do cracks. So
I see.
I think I personally think with that method you could sculpt some of those edges in
Okay.
more separate pieces, basically. Obviously we've got
Yeah.
big blocks here at the moment, but the more
Mhm.
separate pieces, the better. Plus, depending on what your
Mhm.
your own technical requirements are, you can technically have like a lot of these big modular chunks or whatever with a lot more detail in, popping in and up some of the tiles as well.
Sure. I see.
But that's for the brick based stuff.
Sweet.
Mainly for this stuff. Obviously,
Mhm.
this stuff here is more sort of tileable texture-ish sort of deal. Same
Mhm.
here, like so. Like yeah, I think you will struggle to get like these little bits,
Mhm.
like here, like this. I think they really do come from a good sculpting past.
Okay.
Um, but that's my general life. You want it to pop more with these simpler albedos. Um, that will get more towards this art style. But it depends on what you want to do, because your current art style, right? It's reminding me more of like when you start fixing the colors and stuff, and you keep doing like flat shade with edge decals. It's gonna remind me almost of like a sort of flat colored style, like RuneScape style, which is
Mhm.
fine if that's what you're going for. If you're going for more like orb style, this sort of style,
Gotcha.
or Overwatchy, oh, you probably want a bit more sculpted detail in there. But I don't know. What are your
Mm.
thoughts? What are your thoughts? You agree, disagree,
No,
or
I think I definitely agree because I think sometimes what I do is I hesitate to use texture maps or like try to like hesitate to
yeah.
like I'm like, oh, I can't go over like this, like it's too big. I gotta like simplify. I gotta use a smaller map. But I think yeah, I think I'll do what you suggest and like squeeze like the larger assets into like a 2K map, a normal map, and then try to bring back fidelity
Mm,
through tileables is I think how I'll approach it now. Um, yeah, I think sometimes I just like see that my assets are like way too like they wouldn't fix in the textile density of like what I'm looking for. So I'm like, oh, I have to use like a tileable, but then it's like how do I need to like get the normals or like the edge like kind of trimmings in there. I'll try to find like shortcuts for that. Um, so I think I'll probably go back then and like edit the stone floors and like the things you mentioned about the fountain. I'll probably would you suggest like going like like those like stone pillars near the fountain? Would you suggest I also sculpt those then as well?
these ones don't look too damaged. Like this, like this looks pretty. Like these read pretty well. It's probably just like maybe the color. Like I don't know if it's the lighting or if
Yeah,
if it's the stone, but it's coming. Well, basically, I want
I
to
think it's
try
still
and
yeah.
get back some of the contrast from it, like the lime greens. I think it's the lime greens. The lime greens need, if I can you see this tool I've got up? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, olive green, tan, tan, dark green, green, olive green. But it's more like you can see like the HSL 120, 30, 40. So yeah, use that to
Mhm.
compare as well. Because I think those colors can be put back in. Isa says great work. Yeah, honestly, okay. So here's the thing, right? I think for text density, your normal map is going to be stylized, sculpted anyway, so it doesn't actually matter that much on your normal map because it's not
Yeah.
gonna have any noise in. For the actual texture itself, now you can fit this into a unique map if it is singular blocks of things. You just make a few of them and put them in
Mhm.
a 0 to 1 map. But if you were merging it into one big asset, you could also use masks like a tiling stone texture and UV
Mhm.
set the UVs, two UV sets, UV set 0 for normal
Gotcha.
map, UV set 1. You hit set TD on UV set 1, it blows it up, and then you put some of your tileables on there. And you could use the masks from UV set 0 to drive the
Mhm.
tileable textures in UV set 1, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So that's one way. Or the other ways you can try and fit it onto one texture. I mean, looking at this anyway, they're all very similar in their sort of albedo. So maybe there could be a shared texture that happens there. But I would personally, okay, because the bigger picture of this is looking awesome, looking really cool. Like these changes are very easy to do. I think you're at the stage now where you can prove art direction on one section. So what I would recommend to you is pick any section you like. But for example, I would take
Mhm.
one grid. Ignore the pillars. One grid inside your level, which is one square,
Mhm.
and I would get this to be, imagine you are about to outsource the rest of your level to like Virtuous or an outsourced studio,
Gotcha.
and they need like a
Okay.
benchmark standard for you to like set the tone. I would take this area and I would
Mhm.
make this whole area as badass as it can be, where it's going to be a mix of tileables and sculpt. Obviously this bit being
Mhm.
sort of the sculpt. These edge bits can, they don't really need a sculpt, they can just have some nice edges. But take one square, whether it's the altar, one corner, and make that as badass as it can be,
Mhm.
and then propagate that out to the rest of the scene. um,
I see.
and then what's good is if you start kind of losing steam on stuff, you've got this really cool little square which you can very easily change into a diorama if you feel you're blowing out of steam with the rest of the project.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah. One of my questions I was going to ask is like, what do you think I should focus on next? So that's a good like direction, I think.
I would, yeah, if I was
Um,
working on this scene, I'd be like, okay, I've done a really awesome block out. I've laid down my first materials. Um, Now it's down time for me to pick an area and detail it up. And I would pick this little corner with the stones, because then you've got like a tileable sculpted stone texture. Well, I say sculpted, just literally use take this and sculpt it up in Designer, um,
yeah.
and that's going basically here,
Mhm.
and then you can kind of see where it slots in. It's almost like here. Here is where I
Yeah.
go in and I make my sculpted asset, and then you're mixing sculpt and tileable, because obviously that floor will be
Mhm.
tileable. This tileable, this start sculpting up these heads, sculpt them up. Um, I don't think you need to sculpt these, but there's a mix of which ones you can and can't sculpt up. So
Mhm.
yeah, I would get this looking badass, and you'll have a really badass looking set of stairs, essentially.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds great. I think it's a good direction to go.
Yeah, for sure. Like you've got a really solid base, so I said this is locked in. You've locked in good composition. I'm looking here. The rest now is just literally art direction, colors. Like the
Okay.
sculpting side is the technical side, getting that to look kind of correct and all that sort of stuff. But then the colors, you can keep the warm lighting, just tune some of the tinting to get back some of the contrast of what you're doing. And then this sort of soft lighting here, we
Mhm.
can look at that in a few weeks. Like I can show you how to roll off the tone mapper so that it doesn't get
Gotcha.
harsh down here with the lighting and it gets a softer
Mhm.
overall look. But no, this is really cool progress, man. Yeah, I think we take one corner, and we do that, and you're going to have badass sculpts to show with simple albedos and roughnesses, and it's going to mix into this really nice art style. But
Mhm.
no, it's looking really good, man. Good stuff.
No, it's awesome. That's great advice. Thank you. That
Like I
helps
say
a
I'm really
lot.
happy with this scene because when you started blocking it out as well, you had a really good approach to block out. So you're literally doing everything right. So let's just take a corner and prove it as art direction, and then whenever you want to show it again, we'll be here. But yeah, good stuff, man.
Hell yeah. All right. Sweet. All right.
Good.
I'll do that then.
Yeah, stream is saying good work, looking good. Yeah, yeah, it is looking really cool. Yeah, good stuff, man. Keep it up.
Cool. All right. I'll talk to you another time then soon.
Yeah,
All
peace.
right. Peace.
Hello, friend.
Hey, hey.
Oh my god, you're so loud. Hold on. Right, you got seven. You got less than 7 minutes. John took all your time up. You missed out. John got all the love this week.
Oh no. What I'm gonna do?
All right. So, what was last week? What are we at now? Tell us all about it.
Yes, so I got the feedback to fix the saturation value for the assets inside of Ramen Shop.
Yep.
So, which I did. And now the saturation values sit somewhere around 0.6 to 0.85. And I checked previously, it was like around 0.4 to 0.95. Like there was a lot of difference
So this is the
between
before and after.
Yes.
Yep. This looks a lot more. This is good. Saturation range is tightened, whereas before it's
Mhm.
massive. So there's more of like say almost two art styles. Here it's
Yes.
limited to essentially two values higher up, which now this all looks like it belongs within that scope. So yeah, that's cool. Vending
Yep.
vending
Then the
machine.
vending machine added trim sheets in it over here on these panels. I still need to work on a hologram advertised like a material sort of a thing, kind of what you see here in Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And then I made a refrigerator asset over
Yes.
here in Blender. I'm still texturing it, but I made a trim sheet for this, not just for this refrigerator, but like I wanted to make a trim sheet which is solely focused on just panel lines. Uh, the other one, the last one I made was a mix of pretty much everything, panel lines, some door panels, etc. This time it's more just bolts and quite thin trim sheet, I would say. Uh, yeah. And then there is edge damage for the wall. I'm still trying to like make it look better. I know you gave me the feedback where like those should be concentrated in very small areas. Uh, and not they shouldn't be that much exaggerated. So this is like in progress.
Yep.
Yeah. And then there is I made a new texture actually for these metal sheets on the top. It's here on the bottom. These ones. Yep. So
Cool. Yeah.
that's
Wow. You sure have been working a lot since last week. Jesus. Yeah.
yeah.
Really cool. So my a quick question. So what's your intention with this? So tell me how you are going to
Mhm.
texture this with the trim sheet, but then how are you going to texture it with the paint or whatever is laid onto it?
It's just a set of tiling texture plus the trim sheets, and the second UV channel will be used solely for the RGB mask, the UV channel one.
So
Oh, sorry, UV channel 0. Yeah.
you're gonna use UV0, and then you've got a tileable texture here,
Yes, in UV1.
Cool. And then
Yeah.
obviously if you do your mask, you can have a mask here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean Talibal could make sense. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
imagining
that's
you're
what I
doing
did
it for a
for
big
the
city.
vending machine. But this one, the vending machine is still missing the RGB mask, which I still need to implement. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Obviously, check textures are a bit weird here, not in TD. So check your TD for this.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, check TD on these. I assume you still need to put the trim sheet on this one.
Yes, I just tried it using only those card readers at the center, this area. Reason I didn't do the trim sheet on the other bigger pieces because I'm still working on this one, the other trim sheet.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep, that's fine. Nothing to say there. Yeah, one thing I'd also do is map your trim sheet to your UV0 and just look at the asset in Blender with a reflective material on, and if it looks cool there, and then your game. Hey Boaz, how you doing? Your game to just put your tileable material on there and your masks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just quite literally looking at these. It's just a bunch of decals and flat textures.
Yeah, and then tiling textures.
They have so many vending machines in Cyberpunk that they're probably a bunch of shared textures.
Yes.
This looks cool. Nothing really to say about that. Looks good. Yeah, this looks better. This is good. Guess you just need to, like I say, go into some of these and cut them out and just apply a grout texture. Maybe some of the tiles have fallen off. That's polished stuff, really.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Actually, I had to apply. Sorry.
Do something down here, like add a border or something or a drain. Just don't let it fall into the ground like that.
Okay.
Make something up.
All right.
You'll be surprised how good stuff looks when you just start adding random ass. You've already done it with the bar, right? So start adding random ass edge loops and having trims that bridge between floor and ceiling, and that stuff will help. So I'm sure your reference will have something in.
Yeah.
God, what's going
Also,
on,
the reason why there's the final set of details why is it missing is because of the absence of RGB mask. And the reason is why I didn't use them because previously I was dealing with the problem where my RGB mask wasn't getting enough resolution. Obviously, the TD thing. I recently got to know that you can have a really small small sized RGB mask and then combine it with a variation mask and then use it in a function called threshold with range in your master material. And that's how you can get more and more details through your RGB mask, which can just be 128 or even 64 bits in size.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're doing up dirt or anything like that, if you do it in the shader, you're not limited as well by masks. So
yes, so
just stuff,
that's what I'm going to experimenting. Yeah, that's what I will be experimenting with this week. So yeah, let's see how that goes.
You've got to do something here. I don't know if it's a trim sheet or what you can do here, but obviously you've got to fix whatever that fix texture, stretching. Just map the UVs or something.
Oh yeah, on the borders, yes.
They're quite thick as well. Would they be that thick? Maybe have a look at compare it to your ref or some ones that are in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, they're quite thick. Or I should just use a plane and then use a double-sided material.
For this sort of stuff, I would generally recommend like you extract the ingredients from this. So you've got a corrugated metal with rust on, whereas ideally you want to have a corrugated metal and then a rust texture
And then rusted, yeah, and then
blend
mix it
them.
with the RGB mask.
RGB mask and vertex paint.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good stuff. You've done a lot of work this week. Really good job. Yeah, just TD on those items. Bridging edges as much as you can. Fixing that. Isolating those two textures out. Oh, actually, hold on. I've seen this.
Yeah, this is what I need to do. Like, I need to make labels for the bottles. Like an atlas texture.
Yeah. Cool. No, that's my only notes really, because this is all good stuff. Anything you want to ask me?
No, I don't have any questions.
Yeah, very good amount of work done. Good job. Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
You're in flow state now, so just keep going. Keep going with the flow state next few weeks.
Yeah, like like I said before, most of the textures are now done, the major ones. So, the new ones is just like making trim sheets, and like in this week I'll be making a new hologram material. So I'll just need an atlas texture for that as well.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Cool. Leah says lugs great. Lugs.
Thank you, Leah.
Let's leave a note.
Your looks great too.
Just leave John a sticky note as well, since I'm doing yours. But yeah, cool. Good stuff, man. No, really good
All right.
progress. You definitely defeated Leah this week in progress. So.
I mean,
You are the golden child.
we'll see about that. All right, I'll send Leah in. See you guys. Bye.
People are killing it. They're killing it. Yeah, kicking ass. I'm going to get told off now when Leah joins. Uh-oh.
What up? What up?
What up? How we doing?
Doing good. Doing good. All right, let's get this over so that you can eat some food, right?
Oh, I'm leaving now. See you in a bit.
All right. Have a good food. Have a good meal.
I will. Bye.
Damn. Best mentor ever.
I was saying V's the new favorite.
Mm-hmm.
He beat you in progress. Oh, we'll see though. So how have things been going?
Yeah, good. What is it? Doing a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit all over the place, but we'll see.
What have you been working on then since last week?
Yeah, I've been working on a bunch of stuff. So materializing images, optimizing textures to be more PBR, and then also adding like a landscape layer material, which you can see on the video, right? So like the ground, for example, is a material layer, and then slopes are a different material layer, etc. And runtime virtual textures is enabled. I have the ability now to basically, add layers to my landscape and then paint them on, like you can see, for example, here with the stone tiles, right? So that's a picture that I took, which I materialized, and now it's a layer in landscape.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This sounds nice.
Yeah. And then, basically, if we look at my mirror board, it's what is it? It's basically that in the last today I've been working on cliffs as well. So
So this was last week.
this was last week here.
Oh,
Down here, yeah. So this was last week's result. Right here, right?
yes, okay, I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were like, those textures do look blurry and everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
the feedback was
so-
that they were kind of mushy looking.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this is this week.
This
Cheers,
is
WG. Welcome to the stream. Oh, look at the kids
Welcome.
chilling.
Yup. Best fluffy life ever. So basically, on day one, I created an edge feature to my tower.
Mm-hmm.
So that it basically breaks up those harsh edges. Because when you use like nanite displacement, right, wherever there are seams, it basically pops open and you can see what is at the inside. So that definitely helps with sealing those up a little bit or concealing them, right?
Yeah, so you're for the stream, it might be if they can see, you're generating edge bricks on the edges of the towers with Houdini, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that could be scalable to other buildings, which is cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Yep.
the first iteration can be seen here, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Mhm.
Textures are looking better. I mean, hold on. Where was the last tower?
The last tower is down here.
Before, after. Missing.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, it's much better as well because there's more like there's that like 70-30 rule. Like the middle of the tower is like eye rest,
Mm-hmm.
and then the noise on the back. But also, it looks like you've adjusted the lighting as well, which is a big component of material
I did,
read.
yeah.
But it's starting to pop out now. Like these are looking better as well.
Yeah. Like I worked on the tower some more, on the material some more, so you can see it later in the week, on like day 2, 3, or 4, right? But for sure, like that's one of the first things that I focused on.
Nice, yeah, good job on that. So what's going on here? What are these images?
Yeah, day 2. On day 2, I basically did an excursion to the medieval Viking village and made some photos. Right. So one is a plaster material, and the other 2 are stone materials. And so I basically ran them through Substance Sampler, materialized them, and those are the initial results right here. Basically decided of like what kind of textures I want to use. And those 3 are basically the closer contenders.
Cool. So this is scan data you've taken and you've
Mhm.
remixed up to make tile and stuff with designer.
Yeah, exactly. Either they're my own textures or they're open source textures or photos.
Coolio.
Yeah, basically. And then day 3, was the first round of adjustments, right? I think definitely on day 4, I improved them way much more. So That's just the initial one.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and this is day 4 with that material where I especially focused on the roughness map. Yeah, this is like now and this is before, right?
Which one's before?
This one here is before, and this one is after day 4.
So this one's day 3.
This one is day 3, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yes, and then all the landscape stuff.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That madness.
Yeah. That madness, yeah. Those 24 tutorials. Yeah, basically this. Day 6 was another day where I focused on improving, the ground stone texture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, roughness, etc. Still have to improve height maps and everything. But yeah, I think definitely like the materials. Some materials of course need more iterations than others, but I would assume that I think it needs like 2 or 3 more iterations of like a material like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's range. Cool. Yeah. And then day 7. This is what you're doing very recently. Cliff meshes, right?
Yeah, this is what I've been doing today. Basically, yeah, learning how to do cliff generations in Houdini and actually baking them down in Houdini so that I can generate masks which I can then use. Yeah. So yeah, it was my first test. So my goal basically is to have certain like cliff meshes, which I can then, for example, add to slopes. Right, so that I can have more pronounced transitions.
Yep.
Yeah, just break up. Like I've seen a bunch of a bunch of posts or a bunch of artworks where landscapes have like very harsh transitions. So I guess I definitely want to find ways on how to transition them better.
Kind of there's going to be water under here as well, so it'd be interesting to see where it cuts off. Yeah, this looks great. Just with this, make sure you adjust your tool to kind of like, pack them into a mix map so that you don't have like 7 masks at once.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Unreal will
what is
cry.
it? Yeah, exactly. Like I plan to create RGB masks of it, and I also plan to learn how to do a double UV approach. So basically having those kind of masks in the UV zero space, right, for like ambient occlusion, vegetation masks, etc. And then also having areas where I can use UV1 for tiling textures so that everything is in texel density.
Yep, cool. These two really don't look like you probably. So with some of these, you can honestly so you can get like this curvature looking one. There are ways to get this from other maps as well. Like you can take like a concavity and invert it. So I don't even know if you might be able to get everything into one RGB map. Like when you start realizing like this layers and vegetation mask. That could be that if it was leveled off. These two look, there's no need to have both of these. And the AO, you could invert the AO so that you can get a lot more masks out of what you've got with Unreal and using nodes, and it's going to save you on your texture samples. 16 texture sample limit. So figuring out what you can do with that with the shader will be key. Like, yeah, definitely don't need that. Even I think that can be gotten from that. I feel in Unreal.
Yeah.
So these will be the things to
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
to look at as well. But yeah, you're right. UV1, which you've got here anyway. Well, UV0 because normal maps ideally go on UV0, otherwise Unreal doesn't like it. And then UV1. What's that? Oh, I thought there was a fly on my screen. I was doing this on my second monitor. And I was like, oh, it's my mouse. But yeah, get a packing algorithm for those as soon as you can. These look pretty good. Albedo, you know how to do albedo ranges anyway. And then yeah, I know you did like this stuff here. This is cool. Be careful in some areas, probably like these areas. You want to like vertex blend to like something like some sand or dirt. It gets a bit ropey here for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Here, what is it? Yeah, basically I use the tower to just test out some materials and how they blend with the height maps. So this time, basically, yeah, I just, what is it, used that one stone material right on it, see how that works. So yeah, I just have to see what like improve my textures and then see what kind of brick or stone material fits best for the tower.
Yeah, and then start grounding stuff in some decals or shader work to ground all this in, so it doesn't look like it's plopped on top, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
maybe some water blend up here, like higher roughness where the water's been doing its thing. But yeah, this is good. Like you got eye rest, high detail, eye rest. So with here, you could probably blend a bit more in the middle and then have some eye rest. But yeah, the balance there is much better than say this one where it's like there's like barely any eye rest because the ivy's on there as well. So your art direction of those materials is getting better as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what's the plan for what sort of stage you're moving on to now? Isa says, Ikara Isa says, great work, keep it up. Yep.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Thank you.
But he says, why is it all red and black? We can tell him off afterwards.
Yeah. Was it for the goals? Like I created this goal section here. So I definitely, one thing, there are multiple goals that I have, right? So I haven't forgotten about the moss. What is it? I definitely want to optimize the materials, visual appeal for tower. I think that's what is it? I think what you mentioned, like what is it, decals or blending that basically in. I think that's what it falls under. So creating a good strategy for that I think that could be a good goal. And then, thinking of ways to implement WV sets and packing masks together.
Yeah, wait, there's so many towers. Which one is meant to be the latest one? Because to me, this one...
Oh, this one. What is it? Yeah, it's either this one or this one here. Yeah.
This one seems a bit too uncanny valley. This one seems a bit more art directed.
Yeah.
It's easier on the eyes. Like this one's like got so much. I don't know if you've changed the lighting here, but everything's brighter in these ones versus this one. So
yeah,
this one feels better. But yeah, get some reference of just things that you could add to the side of towers, just to try and break stuff up. Find some cool ideas. Yeah, like this one's got like a massive water damage stain up the side because that could be pretty good to have.
Yeah. Agreed.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot. You've been doing a lot of the technical stuff recently, so that now you can tie that technical stuff back into art direction and set dressing. Start leveling up the visuals of the project as well, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely excited for that too. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of improvement to be done, so I'm really excited for that.
Hell yeah! But yeah, it's looking awesome. Obviously, once you get this floor filled with a bunch of barrels, props, and floor dust decals and fallen leaves and all that sort of stuff, it's going to really help bring it out as well.
I agree, yeah.
But cool. No major notes other than what I've added down there. I think you've done a lot of stuff this week, which is cool. Way better.
So
than,
am
way
I?
better than V.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, V's not my favorite anymore.
Damn.
Don't
Next
tell me.
time, B. Next time. Nah, cool.
Nah, John's my favorite. I'm just telling each of you that you're all my favorite, and then the other one comes in.
Damn. The betrayal.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're doing very well. So it's good to see all three of you doing your progression. But yeah, cool. Good stuff.
Thank you. All right.
Get out.
Thank you. Okay. Oh.
Get out of my chat. And I'm going to get out because I've gone 20 minutes over. I'm so hungry. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit. Thanks for tuning in. You can join the Patreon if you want access to the community. Classic parent trick, yeah. If not, it's lovely to see the usuals and the new people. Hey, Boaz, if I didn't say hi already. Great to chat with you guys. Always fun. We'll be back next Thursday and working on a YouTube video for the channel. We got a sponsor for the next video. So we're moving up in the world. Not bye to you, Tanox.